Mr. Dele Ayodo, veteran broadcaster, veteran journalist. Mr. Ayodo, you're welcome to the program.
It's good to be here. Good afternoon, Nigeria, and good afternoon, Ogun.
I also have with us a veteran journalist and a scholar, Dr. Demolu Okuneye. Dr. Okuneye, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Nice being here.
Okay, first off, let us look at professionalism. How will you rate journalists, broadcasters, generally? I'll start with you, Dr. Okuneye. General assessment now, before we come to NBC's call.
Well, general assessment of journalists
and broadcasters.
Well, taking a look at journalists in Nigeria, journalists have actually gone a long way when it comes to this nation. Is it in independence approach? Or is it in terms of building this country and achieving greatness? Or whichever way we're actually looking at it. And don't forget that Abeokuta here, even
it's the cradle.
Yes, where you have Iweroi.
Right.
And the practice has been so wonderful that it had produced great men who had actually contributed greatly to this nation.
Are you satisfied with the performance of present practitioners?
Well, so far, we can actually give us a pass. I say us because
you are still there.
Yes, but then there are issues that we can always look at.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Ayodo, your first impressions.
It's good that you have Demolu because he's a teacher of journalists.
All right.
So he can assess the way it is. I'm an old school in terms of the training. Well, and that's one of the reasons why I like to identify Odisha as a reporter, not a journalist.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of
is there a difference?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking what's the difference.
Right.
This is the difference. You acquire the certificate that makes you work in the media as a journalist, and that's where it ends. You may not practice. A reporter will basically stay in the newsroom. After the certificate, after the letter of employment, you undergo another tutelage. I call it apprenticeship.
Okay.
Under the line editors, the editors, production editors, and so many chains in the newsroom, and you report. Generally, sometimes they just send you to the programs. And of course, because you have good command of the language, your accent, you have built fine look like that of Demolu, and you dress well, of course. So that's the report. That's the difference. That's why I like to identify as a reporter, because that's my own basis.
Okay.
In the newsroom.
Your assessment.
Well, from this background of me, it's been bad. It's been poor. It's been declining. Okay. I've also heard people when I say that's a general, the malaise that the entire country is facing. I also agree. My profession that I know, I think as of today is bad.
Okay. NBC is worried, that some are bullying their guests, and that the choice of word, the rhetorics are violent. What do you have to say to this? And they rolled out these sanctions.
Well, one thing we must understand is the fact that interviewing is an art. It is just not ordinary. You need to possess some skills. And these skills are very vital. And when you have a profession like broadcasting, there are ethical approaches. And these ethical approaches are those that actually make your profession to be what it is. Why will some people want to watch TV or listen to radio? It is because they believe that before you could even appear on TV, you must possess some qualities in terms of personality. When you mentioned your name, this is Dare Folari. Yes, I want to listen to Dare Folari. Because of certain things you have built over the years, and the fact that they respect you based on your professional competence. And they also respect you because of your intellectual capacity. And so these are very vital when it comes to broadcasting. But so far, what we have been witnessing these days have been a bit far, just as Ayodo said, that has been so far, very far from it. And what is NBC talking about? It's talking about bullying, talking about some other factors that are unethical.
Talking about opinion, editorializing.
Editorializing, yes. I've watched a live TV program when something happened in Benin, and then one presenter was even accusing the governor that the governor, we are coming. I was shocked. I said, when has broadcasting got into this particular level? And I've also had languages used occasionally. You see, just as I said, you must actually respect your guests.
Okay.
And you must give those this in such a way that your guests will be able to actually present necessary information to you. Bullying is something that I noticed that there are actually some of our colleagues are doing now in the practice, which is very, very familiar.
That's highly unprofessional.
Very highly unprofessional.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Yodo, I'd like to come to you. At the training schools, when we are being trained, these are basic things. Don't editorialize, make your guests comfortable. But people some journalists usually now play to the gallery. What do you have to say?
It's straightforward. You talked about it at the trading school. In those days, the two main media houses owned by government, NTA,
Nigeria.
You can't go near it without passing through either the NTA college or the first training school, now an academy, which somebody like me attended. When they started talking about this NBC letter, I not look at the NBC and said, what is there that is new? One, there's nothing new in what NBC has said. Either the language or the instruction, there's nothing new. Two, apart from the fact that it's not new, these are things you are supposed to have inside you as a professional. Bullying, nobody needs to tell you that you don't bully your guest. Your guest is protected. That did not mean you cannot ask your question. You don't over-respect your guest so that you won't be intimidated by anything. I look at some of these people say, no. They are like, I say to people, when I'm interviewing, I say to those around me, when I repeat, I ask questions either in the same format or in different format. It's not that I forgot that I have asked you.
Yeah.
It's not that I did not hear your answer.
Because you are driving at something.
I'm driving at somebody. That's the kind of thing, that's the way to push your guest. You come, that's what they tell you, you come in another form. The same question, you may not even ask immediately. 2, 3 questions, you come back with the same question. It's not that you, that is I forgot, no, that you have asked. But because you want to hit at something, I don't know, I put it to you.
Well, I put it to you, that's the language of the law, courts.
Yes.
Is it because it is called a show? You know, it's a show. You are doing a show. You are allowed histrionics.
Interviewing is a show.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. And your capacity to actually know how to communicate actually goes a long way, especially in getting facts from your guests.
Right.
And for you to have used such a language, I put it to you. It's just the fact that you do not even know what you are talking about or what you are doing. You are also looking at copying another profession because it's as if you are interrogating. Whereas you are supposed to facilitate information. And you can even see a situation where a guest will be saying that don't ever tell me that. And it becomes something that you'll be dragging with.
Stop me.
No, that's not broadcasting. Broadcasting is just one of the best things that could happen. A show that you enjoy.
Amazing. It's a calling.
It's a calling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Yodo, what are you veterans doing? I mean, you veterans are supposed to be quality controllers. So what are you doing? Self-regulation. Let's journalists, before NBC comes in, what are you doing to self-regulate?
That's the first thing, because to some of us, honestly, it's a shame what is happening on air, on TV. Somebody like me, I now pick those programs I listen to.
Okay. I
pick programs I watch. It doesn't matter which station it is, or it's not because of that. So that shows that a lot of them do not have the depth, don't have the content. So I'm happy that the NUJ itself is coming up to formalize that body of veterans. And I would like a situation where the veterans are empowered. I'm not saying we should become a cop. I'm not saying we should become a tribunal.
Okay.
But empowered to be able to call those are erring those who know, don't punish them, but guide them formally. You know that kind of people that they know they have formally faced some people. That they are so that you guide them, you tell them this is the way to do it.
Okay.
A lot of them now, because they have the language, they have the voice, they have the look, think they are qualified.
A lot of them think they are qualified. What are you doing at the schools? You are training them, building up the young ones. And what public relations skills can they, employ to be better professionals?
Well, there's no doubt that a lot actually needed to be done because it's not just only in the interviewing section, even in newscasting, in program presentation, and in other areas that are just very, very essential. Well, in the schools, we try as much as possible to actually expose students to ethics and law of communication. We try to even expose them to broadcasting, practical perspective, interviewing, and also reporting, and some other very essential areas of specialization. And they build that over the years. And that's where I just feel that NBC, having identified some of these lapses, should also think of training.
Okay.
Training, because
training and retraining, capacity training.
Yes, because these days you just discover that anybody is just launched on a program. Just go on there, do this. There are occasions you listen to some newscasters, they murder the names, they murder some words and those stuff. You are talking about choosing what program to actually listen to. Some people actually choose what channels to
watch.
Yes, the channels to watch or the channel to even listen to, because you just discover that there are some that could actually mislead you in terms of their competence and ability. And so there's just this need for even media organizations to look beyond you just go on there. Also, you must develop or train your staff. You must know that these are capable and, having the competence.
Okay. The elections are here. And, this is the time that you have so many varied interests. So how can broadcasters, journalists, how can they be very professional in the discharge of their duties?
Again, I will be happy if the veterans are allowed to step in and take this assignment. Well, true. A lot of professionalism is self-control, not a professional. A lot of self-control, but unfortunately, like we know, you can't give
what you don't have.
You can't give what you have. They will just say this. In a hurry, people are launched even into major programs. It saddens me to even say that even today, FRCN is guilty on a network news bulletin. If it's a local girl, fine, another. I listened to somebody mention the name of the president and call GCON GCON, or vice president then, and call GCON GCON. To what you say about that? So the media itself is in a hurry to put these people on. There are pressure for what they call commercialization and profit making. So maybe so as we are talking to the individual or the presenters, we're also talking to the management.
Okay, Dr. Demolu, is it a function of the proliferation of media houses? Is it
no, there's no doubt that the proliferation has a great impact in terms of effect, because you even see who are the owners of the broadcast organizations. You see businessmen, you see politicians. The professionals are just not there. You even discover that when they even say somebody should run their it's more of to what extent can this commercialize this organization for the benefits of their own destiny. So because of that, they always lay emphasis on what is in there for me. How can I make money? That apart from making money, how can I also project my image?
Okay.
You are talking about public relations the other time. These people fail to realize that public relations are built. When it comes to this, you build public relations based on some ethical approaches in such a way that people will actually look at you and see you from that positive perspective. It is not a forceful mean by saying that you must be mentioning my names, you must be doing this, you must be doing that,
Okay.
you even no matter whatever and things like that. So proliferation, there's no doubt, has a
great negative effect.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Yodo, generally, you know, the owners of media houses, they want a return on investments. And can you blame them for
No,
okay, so, and this has led to putting on some, you know, half-baked professionals to
That's true. I don't blame them. Some of them are into it simply for profit-making business, or they use it to other means. Now, that's where government also comes in. I agree. It's almost suicidal now to go into media ownership. It's almost a suicide mission. Okay. So I'll call on government to please assist heavily. Not just federal, I said governments, even local governments, because we are doing a lot. The media still remain a very potent
as a fourth state of the world.
for particularly these politicians and governors. It is. There is no matter of who soldiers you have to blow your trumpet, to tell people what you have done or you are doing that can match what a single microphone will do. Proliferation, yes, is good. It's a good thing, but the timing and the way we are handling it is the problem.
Okay.
Everyone just talked about those who hold it, those who are licensed, who get the license. Faith-based organizations, religious individuals. And the idea
But these are niche broadcasting houses.
they are commercial, they own this commercial section and indirectly get into controlling the programming.
Okay.
Of course, those who comes on there.
Okay, Dr. Okuneye, the professional bodies, the Nigerian Guild of Editors, the NUJ, they've condemned the NBC's move. They are saying that journalists should be protected. They say the NBC is under the office of the Minister of Information, and so it's a way of the government in power controlling the media. What do you have to say to this?
Well, I have actually seen the reactions of the NUJ and the Guild of Editors, and I could see that there is this emphasis that no, allow them to do whatever. Now you ask a question, allow them to do, are they seeing what is happening in Nigeria today? They don't even know that the regulatory body was even established for a particular purpose. And one of the purposes of the establishment is to ensure standard. It's also ensure so many factors like the unity of Nigeria.
Right.
The fact that you must promote peaceful existence of Nigerians,
Right.
and you must also encourage that professionalism. Do they even think of the effect of some of these approaches being adopted by some of these professionals who call themselves professionals? Because occasionally when I see some of them, I just knew that these are not professionals.
Okay.
You know what happened in Rwanda, where
The civil war led to a lot of casualties.
Yes, the genocide, where some people were calling the Tutsi and the person were saying that kill the cockroaches, do that. And that is the power of broadcasting.
Okay.
You talk about public relations, this in the other time. You ask a question, why would somebody want to advertise on radio and TV? It's because it goes a long way by patronizing the TV, or listening, either in building a image or building selling a product.
Thank you, Mr. Yodo. Very quickly, your take on the reaction of Guild of Editors and
Again, I read the three public statements, NUJ, Guild of Editors, and NBC, and I felt NUJ in particular merely dancing to their statement is not even a deep reaction or a concise reaction to what NBC has said. Are they saying people should be allowed to say whatever they want? No.
Okay.
I also disagree or agree that there must be opportunities for people to practice, to say what they want to say.
Okay.
But nowhere in the world that they leave you
absolute freedom
and say everything. Trump should BBC.
Right.
That's what governance
will be. So very quickly now, all freedoms must be established, must be exercised with responsibility. Your last word to practitioners who are looking at you.
Yeah, there's no doubt that freedom of speech is very good, especially when you have an environment anywhere in the world, is always encouraged. But then freedom of speech either from the interviewer or the interviewee, must also be done responsibly.
Responsibly. So responsibility in all. That's the package for today. I'd like to thank Mr. Dele Ayodo for coming on to the program. Dr. Demolu, thank you very much. And until next week, when we come your way again with a fresh edition of the program, on behalf of the Pr-Primus team led by Aki Okudero, Bukola Akinride, and others, this is yours sincerely, Dari Folari, saying bye for now.